All right. So my name is Benjamin Smith. I just completed my internship with Headwaters Construction here in Rexburg, Idaho, as the pre-construction intern. And yeah, what an experience that was as far as it goes. Um, I had no prior knowledge to pre-construction. I had skipped the pre-construction class um, for our major. I ended up using building systems instead to replace the class. So I really came in blind, but I knew a friend at the company and he thought it'd be a good fit. And so I took a leap and I interviewed and they liked me and there we were. Um, Man, I don't even know how I could summarize this internship experience. I mean, I was completely a fish out of water for the first couple of weeks. Um, it started off really small because we're general contractor. We're getting projects and we're bidding on projects. So I needed subcontractors' quotes or bid proposals that they had for the projects we were working on. So it mainly started out as me just making phone calls for a couple weeks, um, seeing if they've got the bid, if they're interested in the bid, if they've gotten our emails or updates or addendums, and that was kind of the stepping stone of like where everything started. And then bit by bit, I ended up learning more, and I ended up growing more. Um, Ended up getting better at everything too. I learned how to read plans and do takeoffs. I did several takeoffs throughout the internship, lumber, concrete. I did a site survey today. And that was interesting to come up with a number and then broadcast it or backcast it against whatever the subcontractor has available for us and have the confidence in it that I can say, I think my number's correct comparatively to theirs. It was cool to see confidence to start to grow in this process that I had never even considered before. And I don't know if it's to fault of my own. I know the school doesn't push super hard for it, but it's been a cool experience to see just how good I can get at this entire process. I had a really rough history with mathematics back in the day. I failed algebra twice in high school. It wasn't because I couldn't get it. And back then I just couldn't be bothered. So it's cool to prove to myself that I could handle these heavy equations and heavy estimations and these numbers getting thrown around, and it clicked with me. My boss really said, you definitely comprehend everything. There's no doubt you're super smart when it comes to this material. So that was cool to see that. I'm glad I got the experience too to do different types of bids. So we broke it out in two different structures. We did a small portion of my internship was people coming to our company and with a project, and we give them a quote for the materials that they have, for the time for the project and everything, and we give them a number and help kind of build it up from the ground with them and paint a portrait for them saying, we'll be the GC, this is everything we're doing, this is how much it's going to cost. That was a fun process to meet with owners to see their ideas. One of the projects that really came to fruition since I came here was this mountainside village. It's this guy, he bought 31 lots over in Victor, Idaho, and he wants to turn those lots into a development. And so he wanted to get pricing for one house, and then a couple more house designs that he has, and wanted us to get some subcontractors together to get some numbers. And the one house he has solidified, we'll use the subcontractors to go and build it, and as the houses get sold, that'll be continuous work for us as the GC and for our subcontractors as well. So not a ton of money up front, but over the years, as he keeps selling more and more homes in that lot, more and more money will be coming to not only the subs but back to us at the company. So that was cool. The other type of bid that we ended up working on was hard bids. Hard bids is when the owner and the architect get together and they say, all right, these are the general contractors we want to invite, and they've got 2 weeks to get everything together, get us all the quotes, get us the best number they can. And lots of times lowest bidder wins, or sometimes it's the bidder we feel most comfortable with wins because you know, they have a number that we feel is the most solid. And yeah, that was pretty much the bread and butter of what I worked on for this internship was hard bids. We ended up winning 2 chapels for the LDS Church, and also a regional center down in Bountiful that's going to get remodeled right now. We were able to come up with really good numbers in a church like that, and that opened up a whole floodgate of different opportunities. We're getting temple bids that are coming in now, and we're getting, man, we had 3 bids for churches this week and 1 next week that we're working on. It really was like we showed so well in the other chapels that we won that, you know, we get this floodgate of opportunity to bid on, and you know, we don't win all of them, you know, we only win like 10% of them, you know, but you know, you get 10 thrown at us, we get 1. That's good money for the company regardless. So it was cool to win. It was cool to lose. I think a skill that I ended up learning from this is just estimating as a whole, or pre-construction at Headwaters. They treat you really as like a pre-construction manager than just an estimator. You handle everything from top to bottom, to design, to estimating, to contacting subcontractors. They really give it all up to you to go and get the project off the ground. And that's a cool skill that I learned, just pre-construction as a whole. I had no idea. I had no inkling of how that even came to be. I've only ever been in the field at this point. So it was awesome to have that other notch under my belt, and it was really cool to have like a good looking resume coming out of college to get ready for the real world. So I'm really glad for my internship. I'm really appreciative of everything that I had for it. And yeah, glad I got the opportunity to be a pre-construction intern with Headwaters.